Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, city leaders look at new ways to be more fiscally efficient.
Then we'll tell you what upgrades you can expect from the city's green buses.
Then a new controversial app that parents may want to be aware of.
Plus, local nutritionist Vandana Sheth explores Torrance's farmers market to show us how to make smart food choices.
These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chin.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. The busy intersection of 190th Street and Crenshaw Boulevard was the site of a lot of attention recently. A four-vehicle collision left 5 injured and 1 dead. The driver of a Cadillac heading westbound on 190th Street drifted into oncoming traffic, hitting a taxi cab and causing a chain reaction of crashes behind the cab. The 69-year-old driver of the Cadillac was immediately taken to Harbor UCLA Medical Center in critical condition and was pronounced dead shortly after. His name is not being released until his family has been notified. 1 other driver was in critical condition while the other 4 suffered minor injuries. The eastbound lanes of 190th Street were closed for approximately 2.5 hours in order to investigate the collision. The cause of the crash is still under investigation by the Torrance Police Department, and anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Torrance Police Department's Traffic Division at 310-618-5557.
The City of Torrance is working to make sure residents have access to fresh drinking water. If you visited the Civic Center complex recently, you may have noticed some ongoing construction. The Water Replenishment District of Southern California has plans to install 2 new groundwater production wells in Torrance so residents can have reliable access to a supply of high-quality fresh drinking water. Now, construction for 1 well is happening in the vicinity of the Torrance Police Department on Civic Center Drive. Parking at the Civic Center complex will be temporarily reduced due to drilling operations. Construction will continue through the next month. Now, the second well will be installed at Delthorne Park from mid-April through June. For additional information on questions, you can call 562-275-4241.
The City of Torrance is finding new ways to manage their budget. Torrance City Council recently approved considering the pooling of its own travel budget in a 4-2 vote. This will be effective for the remainder of the 2015 fiscal year, which ends in June. Mayor Patrick Fury sees this as an opportunity to maximize resources and test if pooling travel funds is a viable possibility for the future. In previous years, some council members did not use their travel funds completely, which were then put back into the general fund. Now, other council members opposed the plan, stating that pooling travel budgets would reward those that travel first and travel more extravagantly.
Torrance City buses are getting a makeover. The City Council unanimously adopted a resolution giving the Transit Department approval to receive low-carbon transit operations program funds. Now, these funds are made available via the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. The program is one of several statewide programs that aim to reduce greenhouse emissions while creating more options for public transportation in cities. The Transit Department plans to use the funds to upgrade buses with bicycle racks from 2 to 3 and help to promote the use of public transportation by reducing gas emissions. The Transit Department estimates 18 months to finalize the refitting of all the buses. The department returns to the City Council with a proposal to authorize the purchase and installation.
Funding for Torrance's decades-old tradition of the Rose Parade float is back on the agenda. Torrance officials will consider reinstating city funding for its Rose Parade float during budget hearings for the upcoming fiscal year that begins July 1st. Kurt Wiedemann, chairman of the City Council's 3-person Citizen Development and Enrichment Committee, made the announcement at the latest City Council meeting. Budgetary constraints caused the city to look for corporate sponsorship to help pay for the float last year.
The $400,000 refurbishment that went into a bridge in Torrance is getting noticed. The Pacific Electric Railway El Prado Bridge earned the city a preservation award from the Los Angeles Conservancy, a historic preservation organization. The award recognizes structures that tell a story about the power of preservation. The Conservancy stated in its award announcement, this Torrance icon and signature work of architect Irving Gill reclaimed its modern elegance through careful repair and stabilization, just in time for its 100th birthday. In 2012, the city spent more than $400,000 renovating the structure for the city centennial. The bridge was one of 8 award recipients selected from the 26 submissions. Awards will be presented on May 7th at a luncheon in downtown Los Angeles.
They may be anonymous, but police officers are taking any sort of online threats very seriously. Burnbook, a new app which allows users to post anonymous comments, has been a controversial site lately. A 14-year-old teenager was arrested after admitting to detectives that she made anonymous online threats to shoot students at North High School in Torrance and Jane Addams Middle School in Lawndale. Whether or not she posed an actual threat is still not clear. Extra deputies were assigned to both schools, and North High School Principal Ron Richardson scheduled class accordingly, stating, "We are all committed to the safety of our students, and with added police presence on campus as a precaution, we are confident that we will continue to provide a safe environment while Torrance police investigate this." This incident comes shortly after a similar posting occurred targeting Lawndale High School. The 16-year-old male teenager told deputies he was never serious but was arrested nevertheless. Whether or not the teenagers meant actual harm is unclear, but police officers are not treating it as a laughing matter, and parents may want to be aware of these new apps.
And a lot of changes are in the works at El Camino College, which is on the search for a new president. Longtime El Camino College President Thomas Fallow will step down from his position in February 2016 after serving over 20 years. This comes shortly after the board agreed to approve a new contract that granted Fallow a $40,000 raise on the condition that he serves for at least 3 more years, which he did. Fallow is one of the state's highest paid community college presidents, managing one of the country's largest 2-year institutions. Fallow was praised for his business-savvy skills, keeping the college financially secure even during difficult economic conditions. As the college's 5th president, Fallow pushed for a number of successful measures, including modernizing the campus with new buildings and an annual scholarship program that awards more than $1.4 million to students. Fallow stated, "I love this job. It's time to let somebody else have the joy. It's a wonderful position, and I hope we get great candidates, and I hope you make a great choice." El Camino College's Vice President Francisco Arce also recently announced his retirement after serving the college in the position for nearly 10 years. Arce will retire April 30th.
And we wish them the best in retirement. Good news for those looking for a job. Starting from July 1st, the City of Torrance will officially be a part of the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. The board is comprised of 60 members from the business, labor, education, and economic development sectors, providing oversight for the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. The focus of the board is to enhance communication between South Bay Workforce Investment Board career centers and local businesses. The organization provides on-the-job training programs as well as career development and interview workshops. Individuals interested in learning more about the South Bay Workforce Investment Board can visit them online at sbwib.org.
A local brewery in Torrance will now be appreciated in the Midwest as well. The Dudes Brewing Company, a craft brewery that prides itself on creating beer with high-quality ingredients, will be expanding to markets in St. Louis and Kansas City. Founded in 2013, the brewery currently operates a 30-barrel automated brew house in Torrance. The Dudes Brewing Company was drawn to the idea of expanding to the Midwest, as 2 of the creators are originally from the region and wanted to spread their company that reflected both their Midwest values with the laid-back West Coast influence.
Still ahead, find out what prom fashion trends are making a big splash.
Plus, the secret ingredients that go into a Pinoy-style spaghetti dish from a local Torrance chef.
You'd do anything to take care of that spot on your lawn. So why not take care of that spot on your skin? If you're a man over 50, you're in the group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the cancer that kills 1 person every hour. Check your skin for suspicious or changing spots, and ask someone you trust to check areas you can't see. Early detection can put you in a better spot. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out what to look for. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Torrance residents helped ring in the spring season with some cultural festivities and family fun. The 4th annual Cherry Blossom Festival featured performances including Polynesian dancing groups and taiko drums in conjunction with a number of numerous community volunteers. The City of Torrance hosted the annual event at Columbia Park. The park recently received a generous donation of cherry blossom trees, which are now in full bloom.
And it's really just an opportunity for the community to come together, to celebrate spring, to enjoy food, and to sit under the cherry trees and have a picnic and to listen to and watch the entertainment.
Well, it's not quite prom season yet, but Torrance High School students had the chance to preview prom fashions early this year. Hosted by the Attic, a drop-in program for high school students living or attending school in Torrance, the prom fashion show featured students modeling a variety of fashions. Students catwalked down the runway in prom dresses and tuxedos provided by companies such as Men's Wearhouse and House of Brides. This year's Great Gatsby-themed show marks the 14th year this event has taken place, allowing students to sample the latest fashion trends and sign up for prom rentals or purchases. The Attic provides students with recreational activities, self-help programs, and a safe environment designed to help them succeed. The programs are organized and implemented by the students themselves with the help of supportive Attic staff.
North and West Torrance High School students show that teaming up is a good idea. At this year's Engineer Games, a high school team comprised of both schools came in at second place. Students from 34 high schools throughout Los Angeles gathered at Raytheon Space and Airborne Systems in El Segundo for the 15th Annual Engineer Games. This year's task was to build an AM radio and tune it into a station. The Raytheon Engineer Games are designed to help inspire the next generation of engineers, keeping students interested in subjects like math and science.
If you're a fan of fusion-inspired cuisine, you won't want to miss these dishes. Pastor Chef, an Asian and American grill located in Torrance, is creating hype for its fusion-style flavored dishes. Cordon Bleu trained chef Ron Melchor pulls from a variety of cuisines like his Pinoy-flavored spaghetti dish. The dish is pasta topped with ground pork, sliced sausage, and a slightly sweet red tomato sauce that's making me hungry just talking about it. Or take their famous sisig taco dish, a combination of Filipino-style pork stir-fry put into a taco with Mexican-flavored toppings. The Torrance-based restaurant is creating a lot of buzz, and to taste the dishes for yourself, Pastor Chef is located on 16300 Torrance Boulevard. That's at Torrance and Western Avenue. Doesn't that sound amazing?
It looks fabulous.
It does.
It really
it's
does.
making me hungry.
Still ahead, nutritionist Vandana Chef visits the local farmers market in Torrance for some healthy living tips.
But first, here's a look at your 5-day forecast.
Parents sure have their hands full, and they could use an extra hand. Now, every state offers free or low-cost health insurance for your sports hero or budding artist. Kids up to age 19 can get checkups, doctor and dentist visits, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Your child may qualify based on your family size and income. It's one less thing to worry about. Call or go online for more information.
The mom role is a lot easier when you have a script to follow. I learned that firsthand the day my son had a life-threatening allergic reaction or anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis can happen when someone comes into contact with their allergic triggers. It can happen anywhere and at any time, so you have to do all you can to learn the signs and symptoms and know which allergens to avoid. Know your role by being prepared and learn what you can do to take action if anaphylaxis occurs. Learn more at anaphylaxis101.com.
If you've opened a box of Kraft mac and cheese recently, you may have gotten more than you bargained for. Kraft Foods Group, Inc. announced a recall for approximately 242,000 cases of its original flavored macaroni and cheese boxes after customers found small pieces of metal inside. Now, none of the 8 customers who contacted Kraft regarding the issue were injured. The recalled products were shipped nationwide throughout the U.S. as well as to some South American and Caribbean countries. The recall applies to original flavored 7.25-ounce boxes with an expiration date between September 18th and September 22nd. In order to check if your purchase qualifies, look for the C2 code directly below the expiration date. However, the recalled products were also placed in some multi-pack units that have a range of different manufacturing codes. The products should not be eaten and returned to the store of purchase for a full exchange or refund. Customers can also contact Kraft Foods Consumer Relations Department directly for a refund at 1-800-816-9432.
March is National Nutrition Month, so we sent reporter Quinn Marie to the Torrance Farmers Market to talk with registered dietitian and nutritionist Vandana Sheth about the best tips for keeping and maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
Growing up in India, Vandana Sheth would watch her mother prepare homemade meals every day with local ingredients and spices. It was then she discovered her passion for good food and healthy eating.
So it was just a way of life. I savored food, the spices, the herbs, the flavors. And when I came here 23 years ago, I realized food is very different here.
As a spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, one of Sheth's priorities is advising individuals on how to make healthier food choices through their eating habits. Sheth's recommendation: buy fresh produce at the farmers market like the one here in Torrance.
A farmer's market is a great place to get not just fruits and vegetables, but it's also a great place to get some locally grown meat products or beans and lentils or seeds, nuts.
Not only can you sample that new vegetable you've been wanting to try, but you can also buy produce seasonally, which has a number of benefits.
You can get things in season that are packed with nutrition and at a reasonable price.
Spinach, artichokes, asparagus, and oranges are just a few produce items in season right now. While eating healthy is the goal, Sheth cites portion control as one of the main problems many run into when trying to eat healthy.
One of the biggest myths is when you're trying to eat healthy, you have to give up certain foods. That's not really true. As long as you have a wide variety of foods, all foods can fit into your healthy eating pattern. So this is an easy visual cue. So if you follow this plate, this is going to take care of your portion control. So for example, let's start with filling half your plate with vegetables and fruits. And if you fill this up, you're going to get lots of different colors and you're going to get different nutrients from these foods. Fill 1/3 of your plate with protein, and let's make sure it's lean protein. So beans, lentils, if it's chicken or fish, let's make sure it's heart healthy. Let's fill, again, another third right here with grains. And when you pick grains, let's go with whole grains. That's going to give you more nutritional value. And finally, let's make sure you're getting some dairy, either low fat or fat free, or you could go with dairy free alternatives such as soy, almond, and other options. Just make sure it's fortified.
Sheth has been able to build her life around bettering the health of others, which ultimately leads to a happier life. Sheth says there's no greater reward than that feeling.
It's just so rewarding when I get an email or a text message from my clients saying that one little recipe or one little tip helped them either lower their blood sugar, lower their blood cholesterol, or lost the weight that they couldn't lose, or just handle whatever the condition is and just feel more energized. That's the most rewarding thing.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Quinn Marie.
Thanks, Quinn. For more information on the farmers market or tips on healthy eating habits, visit eatright.org or email us at thisweek@torranceca.gov. Well, still ahead, some upcoming events for your.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Welcome back, everybody. We hope you have your pen and paper handy. Here are a few noteworthy announcements. The Wellbrook Senior Living Home will be celebrating its grand opening party with a bang. The event will feature a photo booth, cocktails, live swing music, entertainment, and a casino room before the ribbon cutting. The party is scheduled for March 26th and is located at 3210 West Sepulveda Boulevard. Also coming up next week is the second annual Torrance Police Department Awards and Appreciation Luncheon. The event honors distinguished officers who have demonstrated outstanding performance beyond the call of duty. The event will take place March 26th at the Torrance Marriott To reserve your seat, you can log on to torrancechamber.com or call 310-540-5858. Now let's go to Rhiannon Tratanich to see what's new on Canine Corner.
On the next Canine Corner, Doggy's 911 Animal Rescue is here with adorable dogs who are up for adoption, and we'll learn some dog walking tips. Plus, we'll learn about animal communication and how it could help your pet. All this coming up on the next Canine Corner.
Thanks, Rhiannon. Now let's head over to the sports desk for the latest from Colin Kushner.
What's up? Thanks for dropping by the new Sports Desk studio. Hit me up on Twitter, that's at Colin Kushner, using the hashtag #TheSportsDesk. Just giving you a quick peek at what we've got to look forward to on the show this week. After capturing their first CIF Southern Section title, the North Saxons girls basketball team look to carry that momentum into state regional play. Plus, the boys over at Bishop are still hotter than the weather outside. Find out if they can continue their 2015 success in the tough state regional open division tourney. That's 4 and 9:30 p.m. right here on CitiCABLE. Boom sauce. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Colin. Well, Torrance residents put on their bowling shoes for a good cause to celebrate and help raise cancer awareness for the Walk with Sally Bowl-a-thon. Quinn Marie has that story.
A year and a half ago, Sharon Strauss lost her mother to cancer. The devastation she felt left her looking for a way to help others who had been in similar situations. It was then she discovered Walk with Sally, a nonprofit organization that mentors children and helps them cope with family members who have cancer or who have passed away from cancer.
My mom passed away from cancer. She had battled cancer for a very long time, and I realized it really fit in with what I was looking to do and how I could help other people who had been in my situation.
Since 2013, Strauss has done her part to give back to her community by being a mentor and taking part in fundraising events like the Walk with Sally Bowl-a-thon, which took place March 7th. Strauss describes the experience as life-changing.
It has been overwhelmingly amazing. I can't, everything that is done. First of all, I have this little girl and her whole family in my life, which I never would have met. I have so many new friends, and it has become like a new family.
For the past 10 years, founder and CEO Nick Arquette has been raising awareness around the South Bay by putting on fun events to help ease the stress of families who've been affected by cancer. Arquette was just 16 when he lost his mother to cancer, so he knows the strain it can put on families.
I think it's like letting loose. We're always trying to do something different at Walk with Sally. We want to bring attention to fun and letting your hair down. Cancer is sometimes a pretty depressing conversation, so we're always trying to inject the fun.
There was no shortage of fun at this year's event, whose theme was aptly named Through the Decades to commemorate 10 years of service in the community. Participants dressed up as their favorite decade to compete in the bowling competition and silent auction. There was also face painting, a photo booth, and at one point even a kickline orchestrated by Arquette himself. Jenna Whitman, who has been a mentor for 4 years, describes her relationship with mentee Christina McKibben as a friendship just like any other.
It's a friendship. It's the same as any friendship that you have with someone else. We've become very much more similar over the 4 years that we've been friends. You keep in touch with, you hang out with your friends. We go hang out, we do fun things. We keep up on each other's lives.
Strauss is the first to admit that volunteering takes time. But if the light in her face is any indication of the gratification volunteering brings, it looks like it's well worth it.
What it brings to your life is something undefinable. And it's remarkable. It's changed my world.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Quinn Marie.
Thanks, Quinn. For upcoming events or information on how you can become a mentor, go to walkwithsally.org.
Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
And I'm Jin Chin. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.